Ancient Rome is not only about conquests and gladiatorial fights, but also about a unique culture and way of life. Today we will look into the dining room of a legionary, a man who was the real engine of the Roman Empire. What did he eat? Let's find out. Legionaries were not only warriors, but also professional builders, engineers and farmers. They faced many challenges in their daily lives, and food was one of the most important aspects of their existence. But what went into the diet of this strong and tough fighter? Let's get to the bottom of it. The mainstay of a legionary's diet was bread. The Romans could eat different kinds of bread, but the most common was pecan, a heavy and dense bread made from wheat or barley flour. It was nutritious, but it also served as a major source of carbohydrates for long treks. To the bread was often added breadcrumbs, dried slices that could be stored for long periods of time and taken with them on a hike. In the conditions of long marches, such a product was indispensable. Another staple was cereals, barley, oats and sometimes wheat. These cereals were used to make porridge, which was often cooked over a fire. Porridge provided energy and was a nutritious but light meal for soldiers. But, of course, the legionnaires did not do without meat. It was mostly lard or pork. Meat was an important source of protein, especially for maintaining strength and endurance. Sometimes soldiers caught fish or cooked it with salt and herbs. Because of the difficulty of storage, fresh food was often substituted for dried food. The Romans didn't forget about vegetables. On the legionaries' table could be legumes, beans, lentils, peas. They were a source of vegetable protein. Well, and, of course, one of the main Roman treats, olives. Olive oil was used as a seasoning and for frying. Almost no meal was without it. When it comes to beverages, wine played a key role, as it did for the ancient Romans. Of course, wine in the army was diluted with water so soldiers wouldn't get drunk, but it was still drunk throughout the day. In addition, legionaries could also drink water, but it wasn't always available on marches, so they often took vinegar and water with them. It was a refreshing and strengthening drink. When legionaries went on a march, meals became even more modest. They took with them dry rations consisting of breadcrumbs, salted meat, barley and cheese. Food was often cooked directly over a fire, and the process was simple: porridge was boiled or meat and vegetables were stewed. Meals were not only important but also a simple way to maintain strength in the face of heavy military service. So, the diet of the legionaries of ancient Rome was simple but balanced. Bread, meat, fish, olives, cereals and wine all provided the Roman soldiers with the necessary energy and strength for their great conquests. Every morsel of food was part of the great army that became the backbone of the Roman Empire. Something as simple but meaningful as the history of ancient Rome itself. Thanks for being with us. See you again on the channel.